I was living with my husband when he invited a Navy SEAL to come in and live with our family. It was just really cool to see two completely different worlds collide, because our world couldn't be any more different than a man who's been a Navy SEAL for the last 20 years serving his country and traveling the world. He was living in our New York apartment with us at the time, and it was fascinating. So the main takeaways were, how much is in your reserve tank? When you get exposed to someone like that with that amount of grit and whose discipline all day long is pushing himself physically to find where that limit is. I push myself in business to find where that limit is. I push myself by taking a lot of risks where I feel like I might be embarrassed or make a fool of myself. But this was a whole different ballgame to see somebody push themselves physically to see what their own body is capable of. I showed him his guest bedroom, and all he had with him was a backpack. And he's like, I'm good, I don't sleep in the bed, so he had a tent that he set up in our guest bedroom, and it was a an oxygen deprivation tent. So he plugged it in, and it sounded like a machine all night, like a hairdryer was on or something, and it was to train his lungs to have more capacity. He was always doing physical stuff in the living room, push-ups, and he'd put laser on his back, and so our son would be sitting on his back while he did hundreds and hundreds of push-ups. It was, we left him in charge of our son one afternoon so we could go to a movie. We came back and our son was in full fatigues at 2. We were like, okay. So it was wild for everybody.